All right, we are recording, and I have my beautiful and amazing client Jen here, and I am super excited to chat with you. I'm just gonna say we were just chatting before starting recording, and I am so happy and excited and proud of this amazing woman. Jen, why don't you just begin by introducing yourself and also telling the women who are watching this where you were at when you joined Rewired Women and why kind of you came into our world.
Okay, so I'm originally from Canada and I have been living and working in New York City for the past almost 20 years, and working as an architectural designer. Um, and when I first joined Rewired earlier this year, um, I think I was at a point where I was feeling very low, and um, I had just come out of um, a really bad um, job situation. It was a very toxic environment, um, and the boss that I had at the time was extremely horrible towards me, and really made me second guess myself and my talents and every basically everything that I knew to be right was wrong, and I just felt very small and insignificant and just unsure of myself. And I think even before that job, um, the job I had before that, it was just it was the environment wasn't toxic. It was a good environment, but I was working a lot, and I was really burnt out. And I'd been there for 10 years before that. So I think that overall there was a lot of burnout and then a lot of lack of self confidence, and um, I wasn't really moving up in my roles, and I was just very I just played it safe and like kept to myself and just tried to keep my head down and get my work done and get in, get out, and you know, it was yeah, it was just not I wasn't really blossoming and progressing in my career at that point in time. I think my career was pretty stagnant and not progressing upwards.
And at that point, you came into our world. How,
Yes.
speak a little bit to that then, Jen. How come you came into our world and what made you make the decision to move forward, to come work with us?
Fortunately, after like the really toxic work environment, I had met up with a friend who had been a part of the program a few years earlier, and she was like, I said to her that I was like, I just don't know what to do. I feel so lost, and I feel so broken and damaged, and I don't I don't know how to start over. I don't know. I think I need to change the way I view everything, because now everything is tainted by what my recent situation was. And I just yeah, and she said, if you think that you need to like change the way you think and feel about everything, then I know the perfect thing for you.
Mm.
So she told me, she's like, what you need is to rewire your brain. And I was like, what? Like, and she was like, what do you mean rewire? And so she briefly explained it to me and said that she took this course, and there were a bunch of like exercises that you do, and you just slowly over the course of time, like you go through these videos, and like you read about these things and everything's explained to you, and there are discussions group discussions that are held where you can share your thoughts and like learn from other people and their experiences. And like, because I think that like the other thing is that like I felt so alone, and because
Yeah.
it's not the kind of thing that you really want to tell other people that you're feeling.
Yeah.
And um and it was really eye opening to see how many other people feel just as stupid as I did, and broken and lost, and and all coming from different backgrounds and different situations. And um yeah, and so she told me about it. I did some research, and I was like, okay, like this sounds kind of weird. I don't know, but this is for me. Like, and and I think that the thing that kind of also um held me back was the amount of money that it costs, because I was really scared, because I just lost my job and I was scared
Yeah.
to invest all this money into this program that I didn't even know was going to work. Um, and now that I've done it, I'm so glad I did it, because it was like there's the I've been in therapy for so many years, and like this, like the homework, the lessons, the homework, the discussions, everything, it's like equivalent to like years and years of therapy, like mashed into like one course. And
Yeah.
if and when it's like different, because you're actually going through all of these things and working out the problems, and like actually having someone to talk to about things that you're going through at the same time that they're happening. And
Yeah.
um yeah, I'm so glad I did it, because like, now I might still have fears or concerns. Um, but at least now I know I have the tools to like work through my fears and concerns. And those tools help me keep going, and they help me move on and progress in the direction that I want to go in.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something you get to also keep on doing for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, for sure.
mm,
And now that I'm done that course, I have already started to do it over again, because I know that like, it's like a favorite movie or book where, like, if you watch it once and then you go back and you rewatch it, now you can see new things. You can get new things out of it that you
yeah.
didn't see before, because the first time you do it, you get the obvious things. But then the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time you do it, you get the subtle things. And
Yeah.
and that's the best part. Like, so I'm very, very happy that like I will always have those bits of the course to review and revisit, especially in dark times,
Yeah.
because I know that all my problems haven't gone away, but at least I know how to deal with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And how to move yourself forward, which is a huge thing instead of being disempowered by all the things that are happening in life.
Yeah.
I would love for you, Jen, also to share like because again, or let me say this, what were the biggest changes you've seen within yourself and the culmination of this? You shared something with me before we jumped on and started recording. Like speak to that a little bit. Like what led up to that? And then this amazing opportunity also presented to you.
Yeah. Um I think that like uh probably like the biggest thing that I have gotten out of it is um, having hope and being open to what the universe offers you. And I think that I didn't have that. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in other things. And I think that those lessons that you like it sounds like it's an obvious thing or like that most people know about these things, but like it's like not until you sit down and actually think about it and think about how we're all connected and how what I do affects what you do, but affects the whole world and the universe. And I don't know. I just think that like it's having hope that like things will get better. Knowing that this might be a difficult moment right now, but it's not going to be like this forever. And I think that like when you don't have that, you it's easy to give up because you don't have that hope. And so I think when if knowing that like okay, like things are really hard right now, but it's not going to be like this forever. I'm going to just keep going and just get through this. Like that makes a huge difference in my attitude and my outlook and how I treat not just work and my career, but also like my relationships with my family or my husband or my friends. It's all connected and it all makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. How, and if you, let's see what time it is. We have a few more minutes. I would love for you to talk a little bit about that because, like you said, it changed your career, your work situation. How has it also changed your like personal relationships and the rest of your life? Like, can you just speak a little bit more to that?
I think that like um just knowing that like I would like to have a certain set of rules or standards to operate by and having operating myself with integrity and having
Mm,
like this like north star that guides me through difficult situations that come up, especially in my personal life and like my especially my difficult family situation, which is a little
yeah.
bit complicated. um I think that like in the past it was easy for me to like give up and just be like, oh well, this is the way it's going to be. I can't really do anything better about this, and you know I have to accept it. But I think now if I operate from these I a set of ideals that I have and let them guide me even when I'm feeling low and it's
Mm,
easy to give up, like I can still get through these things
yeah.
and and be the person closer to the person that I want to be, that ideal person. And you know that's kind of like that point B person that's like confident, professional, and conducts herself in a really mature way that is like sometimes not easy, but I try.
Yeah. Amazing. And then what are you most proud of? Like what right now?
I think that what I'm most proud of is that I'm actually trying to put myself out there. I'm more social. I'm putting myself out there and like not feeling stupid about it. Like just like be putting myself out there and being like this is me and this is how I am and I have a unique perspective and there's something good about my perspective and it's different from anyone else's.
Mm,
And I think that like I in the past, like I was telling you earlier, it would have been easy for me to stick to the job that I had before because I was comfortable. I knew all the people, I knew what I was doing, but I actually pushed myself to like try to go for this dream job that I've always wanted. and I got it.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think that, like, I ever would have done that before because I was comfortable. And, like, now I'm just, like, I'm going for it, and, like, it's scary. I'm still scared, but, like, I'll never know unless I try, and, like, I always have your, like, voice in the back of my head saying, like, "You never know unless you try," and, like, "You should be willing to fail," and
Mm,
that's the only way you move forward, and that's all I want. I just wanna keep moving forward, so
yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful to see you, Jen. I mean, I see again like a now like a confident, joyful woman. And I mean, from here, let me ask you, what is possible from here?
baby steps. Like, I did this thing and I was like, it totally blew my mind, and I couldn't believe that it happened. Like, I still can't believe it. Like, I still can't, like, they gave me everything I wanted, and it was like I it's still, yeah. So I think, like, and I don't and I wanted to be good to the place I was at before, and I asked for a month's notice, and they were like, "Yeah, no problem." And I was like, "Oh, but I also have a vacation planned in September." "Yeah, no problem." Like, I was like, "Whoa," like, they're, like, being like, I'm getting all the things that I'm asking for, like, this is crazy. So, like, I don't
Amazing.
know. I guess I'm gonna get used to this new thing, and then in the future, like, I don't know. I feel like it's okay for me to start dreaming bigger now. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that was my biggest problem before I
Mm,
started. It was like, I don't dream big. I don't dream big. And
yeah.
I think I was always afraid to, but
Mm.
now I'm not. So it's good.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Wow. It's beautiful to see you. I mean, again, like thriving and joyful, excited about the future, hopeful. Yeah, and I mean the massive, massive transformation that you've had, Jen, and I know you worked hard for it as well. I just want to say that to anyone watching here, like Jen really had to rewire her brain, and you took that on, and you really did the work. I have one last thing to ask you. If someone is watching right now and they're on the fence and they're like maybe just like you, like feeling like it's a big investment and they're just staring at the cost, yeah, of the investment and not looking maybe at the cost of their problem and what they're, everything they will miss out on in their life if nothing changes. But what would you say to them, Jen? Because I know you were there yourself as well. What would you say to someone who is maybe very, very skeptical or hesitant?
I would definitely tell them that it's worth every penny, and that whatever money you invest in this, that you will make that money back, because you will end up um, more successful and better at what you're doing. And I think that, um, the the time, the energy, everything that you're putting into it, you get back like tenfold. And so I think that, like, it's an amazing investment. And I was scared too, and I'm so glad that I did this. This is, like, different than any other therapy that I could have done, because it was everything was laid out and right in front of me. I did all the work. I read the lessons. I participated in all of the calls, and I shared, and I got stuff back. And and there's if you do all of those things, then you're going to profit. You're going to, like, gain so much from that. So I totally recommend it if anybody is on the fence.
Awesome. Awesome. It's been fantastic having you, Jen. I get so emotional just hearing you talk. I mean, and your transformation has been phenomenal. Like such a star student, you did the work and you had to fight hard to change your brain, which you absolutely did. And I'm thrilled for you. Congratulations also on your dream job, on landing that, on all the changes. It's beautiful, beautiful to see you. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and just sharing. Yeah, I think it's incredibly valuable for all the women watching. And I just want to say that we love you so much. And thank you once again for sharing your story.
Well, thank you for having me, and like, thank you for being so amazing and such a really you were my rock, and you
Mm.
gave me so much support. And I know there were a couple times where you I was really shaky, and I didn't think I was gonna make it through, and you helped me through all of it, and it was yeah, it was. I can't tell you how grateful I am because you but another thing, if someone is on the fence, like, you have nothing to lose. Like, I felt like I that was, like, the last thought that I had was, "Well, I already feel so low and so bad. What do I have to lose?" And I had nothing to lose. I only gained, and, yeah, that made a huge difference.
It's been an honor having you, a true honor. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank
Thank
you, Jen.
thank you for having me.